I think the introduction should be.
This is why you should be open. And welcome to KSTZ. And we're going to be talking about the CrossFit Open today.
Welcome to Fitter Every Day, the podcast where we take fitness and break it into bite-sized bits to help make you fitter every day. In this episode, we are going to be talking about the CrossFit Open. Now, what is the CrossFit Open? It is a worldwide competition put out by CrossFit HQ where every CrossFit athlete or CrossFit affiliate gets a workout released on Thursday. You have to have scores submitted by Monday, and everybody on planet Earth that does CrossFit does the same workout as you at the same time in the same order. It's a really cool phenomenon that 400,000 people are doing the exact same thing that you're going to be doing at your own local little space. So it's a fun event. It's a cool event. Sometimes people feel a lot of pressure. So we wanted to answer a bunch of questions to make sure that if you did have any questions about the Open or what it means or the significance, we can get all of those answered, hopefully at one time, and encourage you either to stop in or sign up for the Open. So if you are enjoying these episodes, subscribe or like or comment on whether it's a video or if you are listening to this on a podcast service, please like, subscribe, share, and recommend us to a friend if you have the capacity to. Other than that, enjoy the episode. We are talking about the CrossFit Open with Sean Nutzman.
All right, Sean, when I say the Open, what is the first word that comes to mind?
Word?
First word.
How about just like Friday Night Lights? Is that one word?
Okay, it's just one hyphenated word.
Yes, Friday Night Lights is the first thing that I think of when I hear the Open.
I think that's the good side of it, and I think that's the most fun part about the Open. So, as promised in the intro, to explain what the Open is makes it make a little bit more sense as to kind of the rest of the conversation. So, the Open is to CrossFit what a fun run or 5K is to running or the Olympics, sort of. So it's like an Olympic qualifier mixed with a fun run. So the CrossFit Games are the competitive version of CrossFit. It's where everyone's trying to be the fittest on earth, which really the people that are doing the CrossFit Games are unbelievable athletes. And in order to qualify for the World Championships of CrossFit, the CrossFit Games, there has to be a starting point somewhere to make sure that it's not just only professionals who are in the, whatever, like the PGA. Where how do you qualify for the PGA? And that thing is, PGA has been around for 200 years or whatever. Professional golf's been around for 200 years. CrossFit's been around since like 2006. So the way that the Open is, or what the Open is at its core, is the first stage in qualifying for the CrossFit Games. And those stages are always different. This is, I think, it feels like they've settled on a successful model now.
I'm not even sure what the exact model is.
So the model right now is it's the Open, which goes into quarterfinals, which individual quarterfinals and team quarterfinals, which then goes into, for the main athletes that are going for the World Championship, they then go to a sanctional event, which is a third-party run event. So like it's at a stadium in Nashville or Miami or Iceland or whatever. And then the people who have finished in the top portion of the Open go to the quarterfinals. The people who have finished in the top portion of the quarterfinals go to these competitions. People who finish in the top portion of those go to the games. That's what it is at its core. But where does that fun run part come in? Is everybody in the world, because it is a qualifier for the World Championships, everybody in the world does the same workout. So the Open, it's 3 weeks. They release a workout on a Thursday. You have to have it submitted by a Monday. And everybody on planet Earth is doing this workout.
And just think about
does CrossFit.
How cool is that? Like using your PGA example, like imagine like golfing the same course as every golfer in the entire world and like comparing
with the same rules.
Yeah, with the same rules, and then comparing your score to Tiger Woods or whatever. Like, yeah, that's cool.
And seeing how they do it and how all that, like how you stack up.
Yeah, like I'm not going to compare myself to Tiger Woods. It's like Tiger did this and I did this. Like that's amazing.
Yeah, it's the same thing. And so everybody across the whole world does the exact same workout from Thursday to Monday. It's all the same. And then everybody in there gets ranked. Now, the math on this is when I mentioned like the top X% go to the next level. The Open, the top 10% in whatever specified geographical region go to the next step, which is the quarterfinals. I think at last count, there's 400,000 people that registered for the Open, and that the top 10% of each one of those, so really the top 40,000 out of 400,000 are going to the next level. So what about those other 360,000 people? Are they failures? Absolutely not. So at its core, it's a qualifier. At its heart, what it really means is you're doing the same thing as the rest of the world together kind of just to say we're part of this bigger thing. I am a member of this community, and I'm doing the Open because someone in Dubai is doing it, and someone in Australia is doing it, and someone in Ukraine is doing it, and someone here is doing it. They're all doing the exact same thing. And like when you say Friday Night Lights, because everybody's doing the same thing and workouts are released Thursday and turn it on Monday, what we do and what a lot of gyms do is on Friday night, they shut down their afternoon classes and they are all doing that open workout together as one big gym group community, have loud music playing, some fun stuff. You get stands, people selling stuff, giving away samples of whatever it is, cheering everybody on and doing that workout together. So it doesn't, like 9 out of 10 people on earth are not going to advance to the next level. And even the people that advance are only doing it because like, oh, I'm pretty decent at this, I guess. So everybody else that's doing it is doing it because you're doing it together. And so you are part of this little insular community at your gym, which is part of a bigger community across the world. So like that to me is what the Open is. When you mention Friday Night Lights, it's the fact that everybody's doing the same thing together, like locally and together across the globe.
Yeah. And we can talk about, so like the process at our gym or at any gym really. So when you do the workout, you have to be judged. So that's going to be a little bit different.
And now why is that?
So just to make sure that everybody's on the same standards. So for competitive people, like if you're going to go to the next level, you have to like actually video your workouts. For the average Joe, you don't have to video your workouts. We're going to have a judge that's your score is going to be certified by Amy or Jeff or myself. We have to take we have to take like a course,
like 30 minutes course,
like a 30-minute course. So we do that. We certify all of the submissions for that. But then, yeah, you're going to have people there cheering you on, which again, you're not going to get on a day-to-day basis. Like how often do you go to a gym and have someone like in your ear, like clapping, like, let's go.
Yeah. Saying good job. Or you can do it, push a little bit harder.
So
whatever.
It's a little bit different. And then just because of the atmosphere, just because everybody's doing the same workout, you're probably going to want to see how you rank against the rest of the world. Like you're going to push a little bit harder than you normally would. And it's good. Like it gets you out of your comfort zone.
I also we mentioned in an episode a few weeks back that one of the things that I really enjoy now at my progress, my fitness journey, my whatever you're talking about with CrossFit, the thing that I really I like finding weaknesses, because then I can go, oh, I could be not bad at this if I tried doing this a little better. And the Open is good at finding that because it's objectively scored against everybody else on earth. And so I recognize that I'm not great at handstand push-ups because I'm big and I have long arms. And so when there's a handstand push-up workout that comes out or something that's upside down, and last year I finished in the 82nd percentile in that workout, and this year I finished in the 87th percentile, I have gotten better. I'm still less than what my average is, somewhere usually in the 90 something at this point. But like I'm worse at that than I normally am, but I'm getting better at it. So I can see, oh, I was bad at this thing. I'm less bad at it now. That's kind of cool. And so I like finding things that I'm bad at in the Open, and it just brings a highlighter to it. And that scares some people, which is why I think some people don't want to do the Open. But it also, when you flip at it and say, oh, between now and next year, I have the opportunity to see if I can get better at this. Because if I'm doing CrossFit and I'm doing the Open, I'm probably in better shape than even if I'm at the 0th percentile of the Open, I'm probably more fit than 60% of the planet.
I was going to say higher than that, but yeah.
And so even if I'm in the very bottom percent of this thing, I'm better than, I feel like I'm taking care of myself at a better rate than almost everybody else is. So if I can figure out how to be less bad at this thing, and then I can go, I'm now in the 30th percentile instead of the 10th percentile. I'm getting better. And it gives you the chance to say, I'm not great at it this year, but that's okay because I can be better at it next year. And then next year, you're 41 years old. Okay, well, then the year after that, you're going to be 42, and you can be better at it when you're 42 than when you're 41. You're not trying to be like a world champion. You don't have to try and qualify for anything, but it lets you see where you stack up from yourself to yourself against the rest of the world, kind of by aggregate.
And I like, even on a different page, like you like to see where you're weak. Like I like to take a workout that I'm really good at and see like, wow, I'm in the 99th percentile in this workout. Maybe I'm in like the 50th on the other one, but that's okay. But yeah, like a workout that I crushed, like it makes me feel good.
Yeah. That cool. I can do this one thing. Yeah. Burpees, running, which you can't really run because how do you get that in a video and make sure that someone's not running
that's
350 meters instead of 400 meters.
That is the one thing, like I wish they could find a way, because like CrossFit is functional fitness, and like what's more functional than running? It's like,
yeah, it's just that how do you avoid cheating for the competitive?
Yeah, I get it. I just say that because I love running.
Yeah,
so.
The competitive part, easy. It would be great if you said, all right, go run a 400 and we'll see how it is because that's a great test of fitness, but at the same time, also kind of shady, easy to cheat.
Yeah.
But the other part of it is, what would you say to someone when they say, I don't want to register for the Open?
Well,
Like,
first,
what's the natural way?
What do you think their concerns are?
Let's say this person, I'm going to come to class. I'm going to do the workout anyway. Why should I register for the Open?
So, well, I mean, talk about Friday Night Lights first and just the atmosphere of that, getting out of their comfort zone. And you can even say, like, if they don't want to work out in front of other people, yeah, you're doing the workout in class anyways. All right. I bet you're going to push a little bit harder if you're being judged and you're submitting a score.
It's using a golf example again, it's playing a practice round with your buddies is everyday class. And then every once in a while, you enter a tournament where you can't kick your ball out of a divot. Whoa. Well, now that little cheat that I gave myself, every once in a while, we're doing wall balls. And if I miss the wall and I just airball one, throw it up and down, I'll count it. It's whatever. It's the middle of the class. Then you got to judge. There's a standard that you have to shoot to. And all the stuff you've allowed yourself to do, you go, oh, I can't do that anymore.
And like you said earlier, like everybody is doing this in the entire world. Like you're being part of that community. Why would you exclude yourself from that community? Like, what do you have to lose?
Yeah, and the way that it works is that you pay $20 to CrossFit HQ, and we normally aren't going to say pump CrossFit HQ too much, but one of the things that really I just use that what I consider that $20 is a data maintenance fee, because there is a leaderboard, which I think the leaderboard for some people, when they say I don't want to do the Open, they also for the same reason that some people say I don't want to do CrossFit because I don't want to be bad at it, is I don't want to do the Open because I don't want to see where I rank because it's not going to be very good. Well, it's better to find out. You know, to me, it's like I use the example, if I go do a physical and I get my cholesterol back and it's bad,
like
I want to know that.
So
I want to know that I want to know that my cholesterol is bad so I can change what I'm doing so my cholesterol is not bad and I don't have a heart attack. Because if I have a heart attack, that tells me my cholesterol is probably bad. So that's a bad time to find out that it's bad. So using the Open as a way to say, this is where you stack up, that leaderboard just provides that opportunity to say, this is where you are at these things.
Yeah, and I think it's important to note, like, there's scaled options for every workout too. It's not like you have to do the exact RX workout like every athlete is doing. Like, there's a scaled option for every workout, and
there's an adaptive option for people who are, whether it's missing a limb, have a neurological condition. There's age groups for someone, so you're not comparing yourself. You know, a 55-year-old guy isn't comparing themselves to some like professional 23-year-old woman. It's, like, they're not the same.
I'm not comparing myself to you because
because you're 5 years older. Yeah, whatever. But like you're comparing yourself to your peers in your age group. So like that's where the leaderboard is just saying it's stepping on a scale. The number on the scale isn't bad. It's not saying like the fact that I weigh 232 pounds or whatever it is. It's not that's neither good nor bad. It just is. And so it's the value that I attribute to that number. That's what makes it right or wrong. And so if you register for the Open, or if you're scared to register for the Open because you're afraid of what that number is going to be, it's just what the value you attribute it to. And I go, okay, I'm in the 30th percentile. 70% of people are better than me. Well, next year, my goal is to be in the 40th percentile.
Yeah,
and still more people are better than me, but
you'll be able to see from the workouts, like, what movements do you need to work on then? Like, where do you struggle? Like I did the age group qualifier, whatever that was last year. And I did really, really well in one of the workouts. I think I goes top 60 in the world. But then the, what's the max strength? The bent.
Oh yeah. It was
the squat, deadlift, and strict press. What's that? The CrossFit total.
CrossFit total.
Yeah. I'm not a very big guy. So I think there was like, I don't know, 1,000 people were doing this, and I got like 850th. And at first I'm like, I beat 150 people. Like, that's great. And then I looked, there's like 100 people that didn't submit a score. I'm like,
I beat 50 people.
I beat like 50 people. And I knew going in, like, strength is not going to be my thing, but I'm a lot stronger. Like, my CrossFit total is probably 120 pounds more now than it was last year this time.
Yeah.
So
I think another cool thing about the Open, you mentioned just like finding stuff you're bad at, is you can see relative to also your peers in the gym how we as a gym are doing. Where if, as people put their scores in and we finish and most people are in like the 65th percentile or the 70th percentile or whatever, we're like, cool, we're doing pretty good here. Like, this allows us to understand, all right, this is how much it's going to be. And then the other stuff that we can say, and this is kind of gym, like as a gym, but also individually, I think stuff like pull-ups, where in the Open last year, person A couldn't do a pull-up, was just shy of the standard. And then they go, I'm going to be able to do a pull-up by next open because I couldn't this year. It's an objective standard. I'm going to do it by next year. Like that was Erin, my wife, when she first did the open, couldn't do pull-ups. Then the next year she was able to do like 5 or 6 at a time because she had worked on it the entire year because she wanted to say, next year, I'm going to be able to do that. And so it gives you a standard by having a judge standard. It gives you a thing to shoot for from one year to the next year that you go, next year, I'm going to be able to do X, or I'm going to be able to do X, Y number of times. I'm going to be able to push past this thing because I know that it's coming next year and I want to be up. I want to see how much better I can be.
Yeah. And I think, just look at like the grand scheme of that. Like that means a year from now, I'm still going to be working out too. Like think about the consistency that involves. It's not just that I'm setting goals. I'm going to be working towards that goal for the next year. Like I'm not going to get lazy. I'm going to stay in the gym.
I mean, is the open ultimately the greatest thing on earth? It's not the greatest thing on earth, but it's a pretty cool thing to say that everybody's doing the same thing to this standard. It's a goal to shoot for. It allows you to come together, be a part of a community that's bigger than you to the gym, and it's bigger than the gym to the rest of your region. It's bigger than the region to the rest of the world. Like that layer of I'm part of something else and I'm holding myself to this standard. That to me is really cool.
Yeah. So let's kind of just run through everything. The general timeline, they release the workouts on Thursday. Is that right?
Thursday is usually at 7 p.m. Central Time, which I think it's 5 p.m. Pacific Time because CrossFit HQ is in Colorado now. But I think it's 7 p.m. Pacific Time or 7 p.m. Central Time, 5 p.m. Pacific.
And then you have until Monday
at usually about that time. So it's usually Monday at 7 p.m.
Some people, like your diehard CrossFitters, are going to do that workout probably a couple times, depending what it is. You only have to do it once, submit your score. We validate your score, and then that's it, right?
Yeah. And then we see, and there's some gyms like this year, we're going to do something a little bit fun. We'll get more details out to people as the open gets closer, but it's going to be battle of the sexes where different, whether it's guys versus girls and a team, or where this next week is going to be an individual. We can't really program too many specifics because we don't know what the workouts are going to be. So sometimes if we're doing, all right, guys best 3 scores versus girls best 3 scores, and it's like a max lift. Okay, well, me and Isaac and Jeff Lewis are going to be pretty good versus the even the heaviest lifting women. But at the same time, we'll figure out different ways to make it. But each gym is going to be doing that with a different thing to make Friday Night Lights or the workout itself fun.
Yeah. Before we go, what are some of your favorite open moments in the past or workouts?
I think anytime somebody gets their first X
something, yeah.
Usually muscle ups are the thing that are the most dramatic because you start below the bar, you end up above the bar, and it's hard to do. Like it's a very dramatic movement. But people being able to do their first, they hit a PR and they've never been able to do a 225-pound squat clean or something like that, or they've never been.
And Garrett PR'd his snatch in the open like 5 years ago. Yeah.
And there's that one thing that you haven't been able to do. It's that standard you haven't been able to meet. And then under the conditions of being judged or having that adrenaline of being in that uncomfortable environment, and you got the music pumping, it's Friday Night Lights. And like Erin last year did 155 was her previous PR on deadlift. The workout that was deadlift and burpees was 155. Yeah. And she did that. She got to like the round of 7 or something like that. Like she did 40 deadlifts at what her previous 1 rep max was, not because she couldn't do more before, but because her brain was kind of limiting herself to say, I can't do this much because I'm not comfortable doing it, whatever. But this, you mentioned getting pushed out of your comfort zone. It's not unsafe to do. Like we still won't let you be like, all right, you never touched a barbell, 225 squat snatch, go.
Up. Yeah.
So we're still going to make sure that it's safe, and that's kind of our job. But also when we know that you can do something and you have the capacity to do it, and here's the standard, there you go. So I think my favorite thing is when people hit a PR. What are I guess your favorites?
I'm the same. Like I said, watching Garrett hit his first 225 snatch was fun in the open. And then anytime you see somebody get their first muscle up, that's fun. But I like repeat workouts. There's been a couple where they've done multiple times, and like just watching people like see how much better they've gotten in a workout over 2 or 3 years, like that's always rewarding too.
Yeah, it's the one that comes to mind is 17.1, which is dumbbell snatches and burpee box jump overs, where I think they've repeated that one twice. So it's come in the open 3 times. But the first time they did it, people had no idea what a dumbbell snatch was. And then I think the top score, it's like 9 something crazy. And then like the 90th percentile is like 15 minutes. Then they repeat it, and the top score is still like 9 minutes, something crazy. But the 90th percentile is like 9:45.
Yeah.
Like it's just a little bit like everybody caught up, and this is how you're going to be doing these things. So yeah, when they repeat a score, it's fun to see as an individual, as a gym, as a community, and as a CrossFit as an activity, as a thing, how people adapt and get better at stuff. That first time ring muscle up showed up, nobody could do them. Like getting 2 in the CrossFit Games.
I remember
crazy.
I got my first one like the day before they were in the Open. My first year I did the Open.
And now how many ring muscle ups can you do?
I don't know.
A lot. And so it's because of that, like, all right, we're going to progress. We're going to get better. We're going to do this thing. And then you go, okay, yeah, a repeat workout. I did it in 14 minutes before, and now I did it in 7 minutes. And it's just that much different and that much kind of cooler when you get it.
Yeah, just watching people progress like that is always fun. What favorite open workout without thinking about it? What is it?
18-2, which is the dumbbell front squat, burpee over bar, 1 to 10,
max.
and then a max clean afterwards because it's a max clean. And
okay,
that's a decent movement when I'm tired.
I think my favorite one, I don't remember what number it was. It was the 100 double unders, 20 overhead squats, 100 double unders, 12 ring muscle ups. That one.
Oh,
I like that one.
Yeah, double unders and muscle ups. Of course you do.
All right, least favorite open workout.
I think it was one of the ones that was recent where it was 27, 24, 21, 18, 15, 12, 9, 6, 3. Chest to bars and thrusters.
Did they do 27, 24? I thought it was 27, 21, 15.
I think
I know what workout you're thinking of because that was my answer. That was my answer to my own question.
That one is the worst. It was chest to bars. It's like 150 chest to bars and 150 thrusters, which is just awful. Garrett killed it.
Wasn't there one with similar rep scheme with thrusters
and rowing?
I thought there was one with thrusters and burpees. Or am I crazy?
I don't recall that. I don't recall.
I remember there was one open workout with thrusters, and the only time I could do it, this was at the old gym, was like some night after. It must have been that when they announced it. So it was Thursday night, and I was doing it, and Jen Kaler was judging me. We're the only two there. I'm literally like folding towels in between my sets on thrusters because I was just so miserable. I'm gonna do a set of thrusters. I'm gonna fold these towels for the rest of the class, and I just remember being miserable in that workout.
I remember one of the other frustrating workout. It wasn't necessarily the hardest. It was very, very hard, but one of the most frustrating ones because at that point I cared a lot about where I placed. And now I like to know where I place. So if I do poorly, I might repeat a workout if I make a huge strategic blunder. Like
if you think you can do
I
something.
think I can do something. It's like you have to, you pick your weight and I pick too heavy a weight or something. I might redo that one, but I'm probably not going to redo any workouts because I just like seeing where I go. But the one that was one of the most frustrating, it was 9 or 10 rounds of 9 or 10 thrusters and 35 double unders.
Yep.
And if you screwed up on every screw up on a double under sent you 1,000 places down on the leaderboard. So you had to do it perfect. So you get to like the round 7, you've been unbroken on your double unders, and then you screw up on your double unders and you're like, son of a God.
I remember.
And you have to quit and restart or do it again. Or at a certain point, just accept like, I'm just going to place.
I remember
this is stupid.
Lindsay Lentz doing that workout, and she was pretty competitive at this time. And it was like round 3 and her shoe came and died. Like, well, we're starting over.
Awful. But I don't know. I think that sort of encapsulates the Open. I think it's definitely worth doing because, like I said, everybody in the world's doing it, and it is just a number on the scale. It's the cholesterol you get. It's neither good nor bad where you place in the Open. It doesn't define you. It doesn't define you as a person. All it means is this is an indicator of where you are, and is that good? Is that bad? That's for you to decide. And so if you say, I mentioned I was in the 25th percentile or whatever. Am I bad? Am I a bad CrossFitter? Am I a bad athlete? Am I a POS? No. That means next year I want to be in the 35th percentile or I'm in the 95th percentile. Okay. Can you stay in the 95th percentile or can you move up from 95th to 95th.4? Or is there a workout? Maybe you had one bad workout that shows up. That for me, it's handstand push-up stuff. Are you better at handstand push-ups now than you were? And you're, instead of being the 74th percentile, you're in the 83rd percentile. It's little things that you can compare yourself and again, not attribute value to. It's just say, this is a thing. This is a number. This is a ranking. This is where I am. And over the course of time, if you were to do that, if you were to do the Open every single year and either increase or stay in the percentage that you were, how healthy of a 60-year-old would you be by the time you got there?
I mean, I actually really enjoy that. Going back to, I think this is my 11th Open now. And like, I don't even remember all the workouts. I remember being like nervous for all the workouts, like working out in front of people and being judged. Like that can be intimidating when you don't have experience with that. But like looking back now, I can see my score for every workout for the last 11 years. And that's fun.
Yeah. And you can see where you progressed, how you got to. So the only way to get 11 years of data is to do one workout at a time.
Yep. Stick with it.
And where you do one workout at a time, starts, if you haven't yet done it yet, the 2023 Open.
Yeah, so we hope to see you there.
All right, everybody. If you have more questions on the Open, send us an email at any one of the gym addresses, or go to the Goldfinch Athletics website, hit the contact form if you are curious about how any of the Open stuff works. We'll hopefully see you in somewhere. And if not, good luck in the Open.